Yo, yo, yo. Bennett, what's going on? Remember I said that I would coach you, I'll do a little VOD review, see what's going on. So that's what we're gonna do now. Picking this this Fizz game. We're just gonna ignore the KDA, we're not gonna talk about that KDA yet. But yeah, I'm just gonna VOD review, gonna show you what I would do, what I wouldn't do, if it's the right play, wrong play, whichever or, and then we're gonna see what happens. So let's get into it. Let's go. Matter of fact, Bennett, before we start, I gotta ask you a question. Did you pray today?
Did you pray today? Cause if you didn't,
I might have to dick you down on some gangsta shit. We gonna edit that out, alright, T6? We gonna edit that out. Don't leave that in, T6. Playing Fizz to Malzahar. Got a Lilia jungle. It's nice that you awarded the red buff. You'll know where she starts. So I'm gonna assume when you hit level 3 here, you'll see if you could do a nice trade. The waves aren't gonna meet in the middle, so you probably want to push this next wave. Ooh, don't reset. That's a bad back. Okay, so going back to the start of the lane, I think now from what I can see, from how I see the Malzahar playing, I think E start wasn't really the best thing. I think it would have been a lot better to start W here, and then I think you would have had actually a lot more I guess we should say minion prio, and you'd probably even hit level 2 before him, because from the way he's playing, it doesn't seem like he's very concerned with pushing the wave and getting level 2 before you by like a large amount. And you know, I guess you use your E here to get rid of the passive, and then level 2 you're able to jump on him and half health him and get a good trade in. But I think ultimately it might have been better to start W level 1, you know, last hit these minions, and even better yet, these minions would Malzahar's minions would really for sure win against your minions. So the thing here is what I would play for in this lane, especially level 1, is, you know, I'd let Malzahar have this wave, have this lane, and then if you don't actually engage on this, these minions don't aggro, and then the wave doesn't get pulled, and then the next wave together will both meet right here, and then you'd hit level 2 here, and even then you could probably, even if you still wanted to start E, you'd hit level 2, you'd take your Q, and you'd have your E. You'd probably use Q to get rid of the shield, and then, you know, you'd play the fight as calmly as you want to, and then you use E whenever you want. And you know, the thing is here is that a Malzahar would be pushed up probably around here, I would say. He would have to walk all the way back from here, all the way here, and then, you know, you'd chase him down. And there's no way that Malzahar can outtrade you here. So I think it would have been ultimately better to either not start E, or just don't use your E on this lane. Let these minions beat up this minion, and then by the time they're done beating it up, they end up pushing right here. And then you have a nice little freeze, you have a nice wave, and on top of that, Kayn is also in the area, so if Kayn wanted to look for a gank after it's a nice freeze, after a blue buff is taken, it'd be perfect as well. So I think that's one mistake. This car is really going crazy out here, but we're just gonna ignore it. So yeah, I think W start here would have been better. Let the wave come to your side. Level 2, you look for a nice good trade. And and then it would have been more beneficial. So let's speed up back to present time. Blue burn his flash, which is good, and he does have to take a reset. So it still worked out in the end. Now here is where I think is the beginning of where the lane is going to start to, I guess, be lost. For one, you didn't push this wave. I think it would have been, I think you had to push this wave regardless. Like, you know, even if Lilia is in the area, I think you have to push this wave. Even if Lilia was there, I mean, again, we saw from that play that Lilia is like around this area. So she would probably come from here or come from here. So what I'm thinking here is a, let's see where Lilia is, for example. Lilia is right here. So she wouldn't have came. But, you know, let's say if she did come and you tried to push this wave, you push this wave, you know, you press your E, you auto these, and then use W to finish them off. Same thing with these melees. And then if anybody comes, you just walk straight up here. You walk straight up here, and then you're fine. And then you take a reset. Or, better yet, you know, since Lilia probably has no intention of trying to stop you take this wave, you fully clear this wave as fast as possible. You get rid of it. And then the second you see Lilia pop up in jungle, that's when you rotate down here, because the wave is done. Malzahar has to deal with the wave. Malzahar has no reason or thought to even walk there, since he has to get rid of this huge wave. So you push in this wave, and then you go down here. Instead, you start your recall, you cancel it, and then on top of that, you take this long route going this way instead of going all the way this way. So it would have been ultimately faster to go this way. On top of that, Malzahar, it would have been better for you to clear this whole wave and walk down here, the river, boom, 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 boom. You get the nice kill. And then you even take a reset after that. And then you don't lose this wave. But instead, gotta go back. Instead, you forget about the wave. Malzahar even thinks to walk here, but Malzahar is like, you know what? This is just not gonna work. And Malzahar did the smart play by not rotating. He finished the wave first, and then he rotated. You burn your flash, you get the kill, you get blue buff, that's nice. I think, given that you made this incorrect play, you have to stay in this lane, or you will also lose a lot of this cannon wave, is what I'm thinking in my head. So, you know, you also take this bad back time after you take this bad roam. So, you know, you have one wave that you had missed total. Maybe you missed a little more, but either way, we know that you missed that last wave. Now, coming onto this wave, there's one melee on top of that. There's a cannon you miss. There's another melee. And then that's about it. So you miss 2 melees, a cannon, and then a whole entire wave on top of that. So you lose all of that. You get yourself 300 gold. You get yourself your items, and you get a blue buff. But at the end of the day, it's not worth, because you missed this wave, and then you missed almost the entire next wave. You know, and then, you know, Malzahar is level 5. You just got 300 gold off that kill. And you're telling me you're only about 100 and something gold up on Malzahar after that play. But if you had actually pushed in that wave, got the Lilia kill, that you would have 100% probably made it in time. Because again, you took this long route that probably took like 5 to 6 extra seconds, when you could have been using those 5 to 6 extra seconds clearing the wave that was here earlier. So instead of recalling, pushing this wave, and then you rotate to this. Instead of going all the way around here, you go this way. After pushing this wave, you get the kill, and then you go back mid lane again, and then you catch the next wave. Instead, you reset, you lose this wave, and on top of that, Malzahar you don't really gain an advantage off the Malzahar. So that's one thing. That's one thing that's a mistake. You know, having to be able to clear your wave and then look for rotation. You know, you can't just leave your lane. You can't just leave your wave there all the time. You have to push. Now, out of curiosity, I quickly want to see if it would have been close for Malzahar to get a plate, but if Malzahar would have gotten a plate, your roam would have done nothing. Either way, there's still no gap. There's no gold gap, pretty much. And then, you know, he's level 5 and you're still level 4. And now you just hit 5 and he's about 3 minions away from 6. And then on top of that, I think you're not really like, I want to say here your head is not in the game. You're not really thinking about whether Lilia can be mid lane or not. And, you know, you're holding your E. I understand you're trying to kill Malzahar, but, you know, even if you kill him, it's not going to be worth. It's better to just E away instantly, because Malzahar is for sure going to want this wave pushed in. Now, Malzahar doesn't have any mana, so you might not lose ultimately as much. But you lost 2 melees. And then you lost 2 melees on top of that. And then, you know, I think the CS gap is pretty much gone now. Yeah, CS gap is pretty much gone. So, you know, that 1 kill meant nothing. So it's good that you push this wave. See what happens. So now you're 200 gold up again. You went and got yourself 3 kills. Even more gold up. So here's what I would have done in this situation. Now I don't know if you saw it, but you know, I wasn't looking at any health bar. I wasn't looking at any health bars right here at all. I wasn't looking at this, you know. I was purely just moving my camera down there as I was watching the VOD earlier. So, you know, the second I hit level 6 here as Fizz, you know, and, you know, I'm walking down here, I'm looking bot lane, you know. My Yasuo just died. I want to see how it looks. So right here, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna go bot lane. I'm just gonna see if I can land a fish on one of them, and then I'm gonna kill one of them, you know, and that's what it's gonna be. Instead, I think what happens this game for you is that, you know, you're not panning your camera down there. Like, even then, the second I see them again, if they are, you know, they even cancel their recall. You know, I'm going bot lane right here. I'm seeing if I can hit a fish. If I can't hit a fish, that's fine. And then, but ultimately, you should be able to kill both. You know, this looks like free real estate as any. So, you know, it would have been better to clear this wave, walk straight bot lane, make sure you move your camera down there to see what's going on. But you get, you know, again, I'm gonna say that you didn't move your camera because I think you would have roamed down there if you had known that bot lane was so slow. Instead, you know, you're helping your jungler with red buff. You know, understand you want to help him get it out of the way fast before Lilia comes, because you never know what's gonna happen. But it would have been overall better, because every kill that you've gotten from now has messed up your tempo. You get this kill, that's great, you're 3-0. You now have more gold again. But the thing is with this is, if you had from the get-go fully cleared this wave, walk straight bot lane, look at your camera, say, hey, I'm gonna go bot lane instead. You know, you walk down, you walk I don't know, you could walk anywhere. You could walk, let's see, you can walk from, you could even like auto it a little bit if you really want to walk all the way this way. You could, but ultimately it's probably better to just walk straight here, straight to Tribush. See if any of them are still there. See if any of them are still there. You see anybody, you throw a fizzle, you kill one, you probably auto ignite and use your E to drop tower aggro, and then, you know, you get a double kill. You get a double kill here, and then you walk back mid lane. You walk back mid lane here, Annie never comes here, and, you know, Lilia probably still doesn't even make it to this red buff. You know, you're just doing 60 damage autos, and on top of that, you know, you guys are clearing it in a bush. They have no idea. Matter of fact, Lilia would have just done Krugs. You know, Kayn wouldn't have seen Annie. Annie would have been dead. Xayah would have been dead. Lilia would have been said, would have just been like, okay, I'm gonna just clear my Krugs. My bot lane is inting, and then that's it. And then you're back in lane at this time, and then you're grabbing this nice wave. But instead, you get these 2 kills. You're back up in gold against the Malzahar. But you're losing this wave. So let's fast forward back to present time. Here you should not reset. This wave kind of has to be pushed in regardless. It's good that you didn't care about taking any damage here, or well, after your recall was canceled. It's good that you just eat it. You didn't care about taking damage because you know you're gonna reset. So any amount of damage that's dealt to you doesn't really matter because you're going home. So I think that's a good thing that you got. So, you know, with 3 kills and you're down 20 CS, you're still unable to get your mythic. I mean, here Kayn should not have pushed the wave because you would have made it back to get a cannon and 3 casters. You would have made it back in time. Instead, you also lose this cannon wave, which is tragic and unlucky. You probably should have pinged them off of it. You know, it's better to get some of this CS than none of it. And you know, Malzahar comes back. And then he gets at least 3 of these casters. So you're down 3 casters. You're down the 1 wave that you had taken when you roamed on level 4. And then you're also down a little bit of the casters and, not the casters, the melees and the cannon wave that you had gotten a long time ago. Here I think, you know, you have red buff so you could still regen. I still think it's, it would have never been worth it to go for that trade regardless. Because I think, given how the lane is going right now, you probably don't want to be any low on health as much as you want, as much as you are. Because Malzahar can just walk up and, you know, just do that. You know. The way I see it is, Malzahar is guaranteed to get rid of half of your health. That's all it is. So, you know, I think that was you being a little bit overzealous, saying, hey, I got 3 kills, I can mess with this guy. But that's not the case. And then with that, Malzahar only has 1 kill, and you have 2 kills. He's about 20 CS up on you again, and he ultimately he has 3k more gold. And then he's level 8. He's probably going to hit level 9 off of this wave as well. And Malzahar pretty much didn't do anything this game. And that's really what League is in the mid lane. Malzahar did nothing. Malzahar pushed his wave. Then Malzahar said, okay, looks like something's happening. I'm going to rotate. I got nothing else to do. My wave is pushed in. I'm not going to lose anything. I'm going to see if I can do anything. That's how you have to play when you're playing mid lane. And that, I mean, that goes for any other lane. If you have the ability to push this lane, push in your wave and not deal with it and not risk losing it, then, you know, you rotate thereafter. So here now, again, you know, at this point in time, there's not really anything you can do now because you pretty much sacked your lane from the level 4 roam, losing these 2 waves, and then doing this little scuffle here when you were helping Kane with red buff. And then, you know, you're still continuing to take these trades that will just push you out of lane. You know, taking even trades is never necessarily that great. And I would say you definitely do tunnel vision a lot. Because here, you know, you should be ready to E this and E this, E anything, right? And, you know, in my head, I'm also thinking, like, okay, Malzahar has flash. He could flash ult me. Ult is not up, but, you know, I'm good. I would have had assumed that it would have been up at that time. And then, you know, I think it would have been better if you still wanted to make this play. Assuming Lilia wasn't there, but Lilia is there. I think it's better for you to push this wave out completely, let it go under tower, and now Malzahar has to sit there and hit minions. Instead you throw the ult at a time where Malzahar has nothing to do. You know, Malzahar has no stress to get rid of these minions. Malzahar doesn't have any stress to last hit. He's chilling right now, you know. There's nothing that he's doing right now that's gonna make him play any differently. And then you get hit by the E, probably tunnel vision. I guess it happens, but that's something that you have to just gradually get rid of. And skip to present time when you spawn in. And you know, it is another wave that you had lost that Yasuo had to pick up. Looks like you're walking bot lane. So I think from the spawn, you made a series of bad plays. You know, I think that I don't want to say it's okay to walk bot lane here, but like it's very uncertain, you know, for you to just spawn and then, you know, walk straight bot lane and say, okay, this is probably doable. For me, you know, I'm probably walking mid lane first, and then if something does seem like I can make it, if it seems like I can make it there in time, then I'll make it there, then I'll walk over there. But, you know, seeing this position, I would not walk straight bot lane. Like at this moment right here, I'm making a quick turn, I'm going back mid lane. Because I'm going to assume that 4 of my teammates isn't going to just botch this up. And if they botch it up, it's not your fault. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you want to make sure that if you're going here, it's guaranteed that you get something here. Instead, you're just going to go there, you're not going to get anything, and then mid lane's going to be unattended. You're going to lose this wave. Malzahar's probably going to come back, push in this wave, and you're going to lose this wave. Is it a cannon wave? It might be a cannon as well. No, it's not a cannon. But, you know, you went bot lane from spawn. Again, I don't know if you saw your camera down there or looked to see how it looked. But, you know, even now right here, I'm turning back around, going back mid lane. You know, it's too late now. You'll probably lose whatever you're going to lose mid lane, but, you know, turn back around, go ahead and head this way straight away. Instead now, you get nothing. And here's Malzahar to get his nice juicy wave that he always gets. And then the gold gap is just going to get wider and wider. And now you're back in lane at an awkward spot where, you know, it's not practical to even like walk at him. Just like E away. You know, don't waste your time with this. You know, you try to get his passive. He flashes. He didn't need a flash, but you know, you're just bleeding out at this point in this lane. By the roams, without pushing the wave, without getting the wave, without getting it done. Also on top of that, making these plays that, like, you know, I guess you don't know your limits, I would say, or you don't know how strong Malzahar would be at this moment in time, but you know, you just have to press tab, you have to look at the items, you have to look at the CS and just say, you know what, I don't even have a mythic yet. You know, you died 3 times in succession without getting any participation in kills or anything like that, and then, you know, I think for 5 minutes straight you might not have even gotten 20 CS. Yeah, it's been quite a while. Anywho, speed up a little bit, go back to present time. So, you know, this is where you die here again. Walk straight bot lane, right? No, not yet. We're not at the time yet. So, you know, again, you know, from this point forward, I noticed that, like, now you're just you're just walking in, and you know, like, well, I want to feel like, you know, because, you know, when I see Aatrox here, you know, you guys are level 9, you guys are level, and, you know, you died 3 times in a row. I'm thinking in my head, I looked at the CS or whatever, and I'm thinking in my head, level 8 to level 9, this looks pretty uncertain. I don't think we can kill this guy. If Cho'Gath was there, I'm all for it. Cho'Gath wasn't there. There's really no guarantee that you guys kill. On top of that, Blue Kayn is not really a master at killing these bruisers, especially early levels. And you're not a master at killing these bruisers, especially early levels, especially considering that, you know, Aatrox is a drain tank. He's just going to deal damage to you, and then he's just going to gain health. And it wasn't even close at all. And then you die for that for no reason. You know, Malzahar's sitting here doing nothing again. But the CS just starts getting wider and wider. It's almost like a 2k, yeah, actually it's like a 2.1k gold gap. So, you know, you guys chase him. Waste of time. Lose these 3 minions. Like, at this point, I'm hoping Cho'Gath resets, and then I would walk straight top lane now. Drake is spawning, but who cares about Dragon? There's nothing you can do about it, right? Because at this stage of the game, you know, obviously you can't see the amount of gold that you're leaking compared to Malzahar, but it can reflect on the items and the CS difference in numbers. So right here, I'm thinking in my head, okay, I need to get back in the game somehow. I need to CS. I'm going to walk top lane. This was another play that I saw, since we actually just stumbled upon it. I actually forgot about it. You know, again, I think another bad habit that you have is that sometimes you're playing the game, and then you just turn yourself off for a second. All you're thinking, all your possibilities, you know. Better yet, we see Kayn here a long time ago. You know, I mean, we see Aatrox here a long time ago. Now, I wouldn't have seen him flash. I probably would have moved my camera there. It's whatever. If we see him poke out, and then, you know, you're still walking straight, and for some reason you just make a whole left turn. Actually, that would be right. That would be your right. Yeah, you make a whole right turn straight into where you saw Aatrox. You know what I'm saying? It's just for some reason you just stopped playing. You just forgot you were playing League of Legends. You forgot Aatrox was there. Maybe you didn't forget and you're just, you know, walking around. Whatever the case is, this does happen often when I see your gameplay. You just autopilot pretty much. You autopilot the game, you're walking around, you're doing nothing, you're doing something, and then that something that you're doing is just never beneficial. And then here's another death. 24 seconds where you're not in, when you're not playing the game again. They get a dragon for free, which is fine. That dragon honestly was probably as free as can be. Regardless. And then there's another play that happens where you're not there. And your team actually had a respectably kind of even trade. Even enough. And here you are again. I don't know. I wouldn't say autopilot here. I think you're just, you know, what's the word I should say? You're tunnel visioning here. You're like, oh my gosh, okay, I just died. I'm gonna see if I can steal this dragon. But here's the thing. Even if you steal this dragon, it's not gonna get you back in the game. It's not gonna get your team back in the game. It's not gonna be better. You know, you just had died. So you had 30 seconds of down. You had 30 seconds of death. Now you have another 30 seconds of death where you could be top lane getting CS, or even just saying, hey, that dragon's gone. Let me just go mid lane and get this tower right here with my Cho'Gath. You got it pretty low. You would have gotten it. It would have been fine. Maybe Annie would have walked up, and then maybe you guys kill Annie too. Either way, you know, you shouldn't be trying to play superhero with these objectives. You know, especially when you're in this position, the gold gap is just widening again. It's like getting even worse. So, you know, at this point, you have to just say, you know what? Enough making or trying to do these plays. I'm gonna go top lane. I'm gonna pick a side lane, and I'm going to CS my ass out. I'm gonna CS. I'm gonna kill minions. See as much gold as I can get before, you know, the next objective. When the next objective spawns, you say to yourself, okay, is this something that I can participate in to where it'll be overall beneficial enough for me and my team? Sometimes it might not be beneficial to you, and sometimes it'll be way highly beneficial to your entire team. Now in that case, it would be worth it. But you know, Chemtech Dragon, second Drake is not the play where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna get it for my team. My team is gonna be way better off. They'd be way better off if you just went top lane and, you know, CS'd. Because now, for 1 minute straight, basically, you didn't play the game. You didn't get any CS. You didn't get anything. So I would say probably for like 7 minutes of the game, you didn't get any CS, like so far. So, you know, I think you need to learn that you need to look at the KDAs, you need to look at how the game's progressing, you need to look at the time, you need to look at the kills participation, you need to say to yourself, okay, you know, Malzahar has an item and a half. Let me go top lane, let me go bot lane or whatever. Probably mid lane's not the play because there's always going to be somebody coming from either direction if you're trying to CS. You know, you go top lane, you kill these minions, and then, you know, you jump back into Fog of War. You just sit there and you just wait for the next wave. You know, minions come here, you kill these minions, you go back into Fog of War, you chill there, and then you wait. And then you do that until something happens in your jungle, for example, and you say, okay, can I rotate? Can I do anything? Is this something that I should put my time into? Should I kill this Lilia that's on, I don't know, red buff or whatever, for example? Red buff isn't up, but as an example. If your answer is no, then you stay top lane, you wait for this next wave, and then you guarantee yourself actual gold instead of doing these uncertain plays. You know, every play that you've made so far was uncertain. And although, you know, the one where Kane was here worked out, And, the one where Lilia was invading early on, level 4, worked out. The issue is, it works out, but as a result, you lose something. And then it gradually just starts getting worse and worse. The level 4 play with Lilia. You get the kill, that's great and all. You take a reset, you lose a whole wave, and you lose some of that, and you lose 2 melees, and then you lose a cannon minion. You push in this wave, which was fabulous when you were helping Kayn with that red buff. Instead, would have been better, push this wave, look at bot lane, say, hey, these guys are really low. Let me go bot lane and let me kill them. It would have been ultimately better to go bot lane here the second you push this wave, as you did, and then go bot lane. But you didn't. Instead, you helped him with this because you didn't move your camera down there to see what was going on. You get these kills here, but you're losing all of the CS. You take a reset on top of that, and then Kayn comes to take this CS, so you lose another cast. You lose another wave as well. So at this point into the game, you should be just picking a side lane. It is pushed out a little bit, but at this point in time, you still go top lane. You wait for the wave to come to a desirable spot, or you ward up in areas that would be choke points, and then you clear the wave. You see somebody come to the choke point, you back up, and then you wait until you know more. So here again, it looks like you are going bot lane. So this bot lane play is good. You're going bot lane, you're gonna split. That's perfect. Now hopefully you don't go mid lane after this way, because there's nothing going on right now. Even if there was something going on at this stage into the game, you got your first wave. You got your first actual wave uncontested without anybody seeping any of your share XP probably in the last 15 minutes of this game. You're getting your red buff, which is whatever, but you should be going back bot lane. Ultimately, there's no point. What kind of play is going to happen here? You're just hovering over here for no reason. Again, level 12 to level 9, there's a gap in CS as well. So it's a fine time to take a reset. You might as well. You wasted a lot of time. Finally grab a mythic. You should walk straight bot lane. Okay, you're walking mid lane. I guess it's fine. You could walk mid lane here, but you should probably take a detour and walk straight bot lane on this way, but that's all right. So again, here you're playing really dangerously. You're like, I think right here is when the tunnel vision comboed with the autopilot kicks in. I see right here, you're walking here, you're not doing anything. You're like basically on the line of danger. Actually, I'll say you're past it, because on top of that, tower's gone. Your tower's gone. You are past danger. It's fine. Well, it's not even fine either. I understand, your wave is here, so you're not too scared. So I'll say that the danger line is maybe like here, but you're way past it. But you're fizz, so there's an ability for you to escape altogether. But this is what I don't like here. The way your character is moving at Lilia. Straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line. You're trying, I understand you're trying to hit your Q on him and damage him, but there's no reason to. You are level 9, he's level 12. The state of the game, you have not gotten a single CS in a while. You're not really going to do any damage. You're 3-6. You're almost 100 CS down. Actually, you are 100 CS down. Actually, no, you're not. You're a little bit. But you're almost 100 CS down. And, you know, you're trying to poke the bear, essentially. You're trying to poke the bear, essentially. You're trying to look for a fight. And, you know, you also have to think, like, okay, Lilia probably can chase me down. You know, Lilia is a champion where uses abilities and then, you know, she gets movement speed. And, you know, not even factoring the fact that she can slow you down with Primal Smite as well. And, you know, you have to also look and say, oh, my team's topside, my Zyra's in base, and what the heck can my 1 in 3 Yasuo do? You know, the Yasuo has 2 kills less than you. He has 7k gold to your 5k gold, right? So, you know, you had a position to carry in this game, but you just didn't play it correctly when it came to wave management, pushing the wave and then rotating, looking, panning your camera over to possible better plays. You know, the way I see it is you took probably the worst best play possible given the circumstance. You know, the worst play was not pushing in the wave at level 4 and then roaming to Lilia. The worst play that you did was, you know, walking over to red buff, helping Kayn clear the red buff instead of panning your camera bot lane and seeing that there's 2 free kills. You get what I'm saying? So those are the things. And, you know, you're still, and then you just E right in front of them. I hope you don't Q this and Q right into it, or it would be a bad idea. But, you know, you're slowed, and then they burn flash for you. You know, they're not happy with you disrespecting them. You know, that was utmost disrespect, I should say. You know, you're 3 and 6, and you're walking up to them straight line, about to Q them for whatever reason, and then you press your E right in their face, for no reason. So Malzahar says, you know what? We're not going to let that slide. Get him. So now you die. 33 seconds to where you can't play the game again. Fast forward a little bit. So here you are, you're spawning. Now here, I don't blame you for rotating to this. I want to say you have to, but let's see how it goes first before I say anything. Okay, yeah. So there's no play here. You know, personally, me, I would have spawned in and just went bot lane, even without looking at this play. Although my camera probably would probably be looking at the play as I'm walking here if I did decide to walk. But I ultimately would just straight bot lane. That's what I would do. Go straight bot lane, get CS. You know, I'm 3 and 7. There's nothing that I can do for my team right now. So I'm just gonna walk straight bot lane. Okay. And you know, you're still walking straight line, I understand you're looking to see if you can flash and get any of these kills, but these kills are not gonna get you back in the game. These kills aren't going to get you back in the game. Even if you kill Malzahar, you get 400 gold. That's great. But it's not going to get you back in the game. It's not going to... And, you know, there isn't anything that would happen as a result of you getting the kill. Because, you know, your Cho'Gath is already 1 HP. He might actually die, but we'll see if the burn kills him. Yasuo's dead. Kayn isn't here. Kayn's actually half health, probably because he actually entered that fight way earlier, I would presume. Kayn entered the fight earlier. Yasuo dies. Cho'Gath is unable to fight. Next, you go in. Even if you were to get that kill, it's nice gold, but nothing happens as a result of it. And now, they have priority to either set up Dragon or do the Baron. Now, they could do the Baron. It looks like they're going for it. I'm going to switch to blue for now because, you know, I want to see what's going on. So, I'll presume Kayn wants to do the Dragon. skip a little bit, yada yada yada. Here we go. Back to red side, back to Fizz. So Kane does not do the dragon. But you know, again, your tempo is now messed up. You and Zyra are both coming back from lane. Kane actually gets the kill, which is honestly fabulous. I think you should have finished this wave here since you were already here. And you know, I think, you know, your hover, you probably should have walked along this way like completely. Instead, you know, you walk back, you want to hit one over the wall. And ultimately, I think it would have been way better for you to just go top lane on spawn. Maybe not even top lane on spawn. You can either go top lane on spawn or you can fully clear this wave out. Because right now, nobody's on you right now. Also, I think it's pretty spooky for you to walk into this unwarded territory as well. Although they had no wards either, we still did not see Lilia fully earlier, and we didn't even see Annie. Either way, I think it would have been better for you to just E this wave, get rid of this wave. Malzahar probably tries to walk at you and see if he could poke some fun at you, and then you just walk this direction. And then it's a 4v3 because Malzahar is like spending 2 to 3 seconds messing with you. So I think that would have been your misplay here. You also could have just walked straight into jungle here, walked all the way around. Yeah, it would have been ultimately better. You would have maybe got something for Lilia. And I also think, you know, given the fact that you didn't play the fight as well as you could have, you also didn't really add anything to the fight. You know, you do get rid of Malzahar ult for a Kane. But ultimately, Kane would not die here. Kane would also not die here. Kane would probably get ulted, but you know, you also have to look at Xayah, how Xayah's playing, you know. You know, Malzahar's like, I got him, guys, I got him, and then, you know, you got Xayah here who's just walking away, walking away, walking away, just not helping at all. Not helping at all. Getting slowed by Zyra point, you know. You know, so this fight you did absolutely nothing. You get nothing off of it. Probably would have been better for you to just either play the fight a little bit better or just go top lane straight away. But the only good thing here is that, you know, you're getting these minions. That's the only good thing for you that fight. And then I believe Aatrox just dies here because he's trying to do the superhero play that you tried to do earlier when you were trying to get Hextech Drake. And it's good that you're getting these waves. I'm glad that you didn't rotate to that because, you know, you're getting nice waves. You should press B instantly. There you go. Now here, I'd probably go mid after this reset just to get whatever wave is next. And then I would hover around a the top side jungle just to see. Because, you know, ultimately I'm thinking, okay, I really want to be top lane. There isn't anywhere else I want to be but top lane. Because I need CS. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. It is a bad way of walking, and you know, again, you know, you're kind of like, this is where the autopilot comes in again. You're autopiloting again, you know. Level 14 to level 11, you see your Cho'Gath and you're like, oh my gosh, Cho'Gath, let's gang up on this guy, but like, we don't know anything. Everything is like Everything is like completely dark here. It's completely dark. This is the map right now. It's completely dark. You can't see anything except for this teleport. We'll just say that we see the teleport because Yasuo's there. But it's completely dark here. You can't see anything at all. Your map is completely dark on this side. You have no idea where anybody is. Which is why it's not a good play to harp on. You know, I see here you're walking straight line. You want to queue in. You're walking straight line. You're gonna get slowed by this. You're not taking damage for no reason. You also use your E. 6-second cooldown. You don't have E. And then you toss the ult. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Even if I didn't mean to record. Even if you hit that and Zyra and Cho'Gath is here, you wouldn't be able to walk in because Malzahar has ult. Cho'Gath wouldn't be able to walk in because Malzahar has ult. And Zyra wouldn't be able to walk in. Maybe Zyra drops his ulti and then that's it. But the ult isn't going to do anything because Kayn and Yasuo are topside killing Aatrox. So there's no play to be made here. You just let the wave come to you, you chill, that's all you can do. Again, you know, autopiloting and tunnel visioning, you know, you have to just let things breathe how it is. Just let the game breathe. You know, don't go for these Chemtech steals, don't go for these level 4 roams, walk around here, take 7 seconds to get here without pushing the wave. Help Kayn with red buff instead of, you know, panning your camera down there, getting as much information as you can. Instead, you know, you're tunnel visioning, you're playing like you play on lock screen all the time. That's really one of the big issues. So now you don't have ult. You kill Kayn. And they walk away nice and easy. And it's nice. You're getting some nice CS and your team is just killing Aatrox. And then they kill Annie too. You doing nothing and just getting CS is nice. You should push this wave here. I think you do end up pushing this wave. No, you don't. Okay, so you roam over here. See if you get anything you can do. I think this play was made a little bit rushed. I think it's okay to rotate here. Personally, I would have pushed this wave in and then I would have either rotated or decided to hit tower. I actually would have hit tower, got tower first, and then rotated to see if I could have made it in time. But instead, you know, you use your E to dodge the initial hit of, you know, Xayah's ult when you should be focusing on dodging the 4 feathers that'll come back and get rid of 30% of your health. You know what I'm saying? Instead, you E this. You know, Xayah also has no flash. You E this, you auto, you Q. You might even get the kill. You might even get the kill, and then you'd probably still die, but at least you get a kill. Fast forward a little bit. Let's fast forward a lot, actually. All right. So you know you're getting waves. How's the CS looking? CS is just getting a lot larger. You should be pushing in this wave again. You know, you shouldn't just be walking around aimlessly. You know that this is a cannon wave. You got a huge cannon wave. You know this wave is coming. You know this wave is in sync with the enemy wave, as all waves always are. So you know this wave is gonna come. You should be walking straight forward. If somebody's here, you back straight up a little bit. Right here, you'd probably just sit here, you'd wait a little bit, give it 2 or 3 seconds, see if anybody walks in, and then you clear the wave. If somebody comes in, you clear the wave with caution instead of walking here. You know, you know, Aatrox is pretty much gone at this point, you know. So, you know, get this wave, get guaranteed gold. Instead, you know, you're clearing this, you might not even get it even. Like, you know, you're wasting your time on things that you're not benefiting from. And now this wave is pushing in. You guys are in a weird spot. Now they have wave prio. There's nothing to even be hovering around here. There's no objective, there's no nothing. You're still wasting your time. You're still walking forward, wasting your time. With, what is that, 5 gold wards. And then you lost this wave here. Still wasting time. Still wasting time. Still wasting time. Walk straight and get the wave. So here I'm waiting for the next wave. Get this next wave. Very nice. So in this fight, immediately I get hit by this E, it's whatever. At this fight, immediately, I'm not walking this way. I think the thing is, one thing that I noticed with your gameplay is that, you walk straight line into things, You're walking straight line, very linear. Everybody knows where you're gonna go. There's no zigzag, there's no kind of juking movement. You know what I'm saying? When you're walking straight line, everybody's just going to be prepared for when you arrive at where you're walking in a straight line. You have to like, in a way, walk in here, probably walk around here, hover around here, and just make your way around instead of going straight. Because at the end of the day, Malzahar might walk straight back into where we don't know. Again, it's really dark here. We have no idea. We know Zaya's there. We did see Aatrox here about like 30 seconds ago. But the point is that you should not be walking straight line. Let's use blue. You should be walking here. Actually, not here. You shouldn't be walking here. Straight line. You should be walking here, up and around. Just hovering over the play, seeing what happens. Instead, you're walking straight line, you're itching, you're ready to go in, which is not the play. You have to be patient and you have to wait. So here, you're walking straight line. Again, your goal, I know your goal is to hit the ultimate on this guy. You can hit the ultimate here from afar, or here from afar, or here from afar, or here from afar. You shouldn't be walking super close to Fog of War. We have no idea if anybody's here. And on top of that, we have no idea if anybody will say hey, or like hug this wall here and go like this. You won't see anybody in this little crevice here. They'll sneak right in, as Lilia does, I believe. Hit you with a Q. There it is. You had no idea Lilia was there. Although you did see Annie, but Lilia was not walking this way. Lilia was walking like this. Up and around into this bush where nobody saw her. Which is why in these choke points, honestly, yeah, in these choke points, you can't walk straight line. In these choke points, you cannot walk straight line. In these choke points, you have to walk sort of like, let's see. In these choke points, you have to walk sort of like this. You're walking out here. Malzahar's here. We did see Annie here. We don't know where Lilia is. Everything here is dark. Dark, 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 dark. Kayn is, Zyra's here. You're here. And then, Kayn is here. So Kayn, Zyra, Bennett. You should be walking here because I see that your goal is to hit a fish. Hit a fish, see how it goes. If you can jump in and finish the kill, then you jump in and finish the kill. Other than that, you should be hovering from a reasonable amount of range away from this choke point because we don't know what's behind here. So, you need to adapt this play style to where, like, okay, be fearful of what you don't know. You have to say, okay, I don't know where anybody is. Well, I don't know where this guy is or this guy is or that guy is. He could be here. I'm gonna play like he might be here. He might be here. Right? I'm gonna play like Lilia or whoever it is might be here. And then I'm gonna, you know, hover here. I'm gonna wait till I know more. And then I'm gonna go in with all my might. You know, you can't go in with everything if you don't know anything. That's kind of the way I see it, you know. You can't just blindlessly go into this uncertainty play. You have to let it breathe for a little bit and see what happens. Which I think is something that you have to adapt to and do. I'll zoom in a little bit more. This is I'll zoom in like normal, I guess. There we go. So, you know, again, you know, you walk into this uncertainty. You don't know if there's a ward or anything, and then you just get absolutely blasted. And I mean, you know, it's not just only you, it's your entire team. But at the end of the day, you can't control your team. Going in and doing something, I guess, stupid, dumb, undesirable. The only thing you can do is fix your gameplay. So it's a bad play for you to just walk in for no reason. And you know, if Malzahar isn't dead from this, then you know, I don't know what is. You know, you have to take into account of what is happening. Zyra ulted, he's gonna get knocked up, or he hourglasses. Kayn is on him. Kayn's about to drop his full combo on him. Kayn is gonna ult on top of that. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a lot of damage coming in. You gotta keep that in mind as well, and say, okay, you know, I'll drop a fish and see what happens from afar. You know, not from here. From here. You have to make sure that you are in position to go in if they overextend. And here, you know, this is you guys overextending in a choke point and just going in without any information. So this play goes bad. Here they go, they push me. So here I think as a whole, this was a bad call to do. I think seeing a, let's see here. So they get inhib. Most of you guys are up at this time. I think the second I see these guys here, boom, Lilia half HP, boom, Xayah 80% HP, boom, Annie 50% HP. I'm not pinging for Baron. I'm pinging to say, guys, you know, these guys are low on health. Let's go down here. Let's mess them up here. They're gonna start this dragon. You know, this is gonna be in our favor. We all spawned. You know, we're all full HP. We'll be fine. You know, Kayn isn't up, but it's blue Kayn. You know, Kayn can just go through a wall and have 800 movement speed on spawn. You know, these are things you have to think about. And even if Kayn isn't there, this is quite ironically the best fight that you can take right now. So instead you guys go for Baron and do pretty much a 50-50 play. And you know, you guys don't really have that much consistent damage altogether. So you guys do this bad play instead of realizing that on the ward that they're walking past, that like, oh my gosh, they are really low on health and they're going for dragon. This is the best time, this is the best play we have to get kills, and on top of that get a dragon and maybe even result into a Baron. But you know, least amount we get is these kills and then a dragon, which is way a lot better than doing this Baron and seeing if we can finish it in time and then recall. You know what I'm saying? And you know, again, I'm pretty sure Malzahar doesn't really have much way of making it a time. Like right here is the second that, you know, we clear this wave and we walk straight down here. It doesn't matter. We walk straight down here, walk straight down here, walk straight like this. It doesn't matter. Either way, the play is to contest them at this dragon. They're low on health. They just want to fight. They're probably on cooldowns. Zaya ult is about to be up, but even if they're not on cooldowns, this is the best fight possible. Now, I don't know if blue team saw this. Blue team did see this. I'm curious. So look at this. One big mistake is that you guys also didn't clear the wave. You know, you guys see, oh my gosh, guys, you know, actually you pinged it. You're pinging this. Let's do the Baron, guys. We got to do this Baron. We got to get it. We got to get it. We got to get it. But, you know, you guys got to get rid of this wave. You know, you guys are telling on yourself. Like, it's obvious that you guys will go for this, you know. And, you know, even if you guys try to go for this, the fight will be actually in their favor instead, because you guys are busy hitting Baron. They also have wards. So, I mean, they know what's going on, right? They already know what's going on. They could have stopped this dragon and rotated here and probably beat you guys up for sure, because Kayn wouldn't have been there either. You know, the point of going to this dragon is that, you know, for one, Malzahar would be a little bit late. Kayn would actually make it in time. And, you know, there would be no information telling them, like, hey, they're going for Baron. Hey, they're going to contest us as a dragon. Clearing this wave, number one priority, get rid of this wave. You guys are now in fog of war. You guys can decide whether to do Baron or to do Dragon. But the number one play here is to do Dragon. Even if you guys clear this wave and they don't see you walk into Baron, they'll see you at some point because they have a ward here. So it doesn't matter. The number one play is to go for Dragon, see what you guys can do given the fact that they are low on health. That is the play, that is the call, and you guys have to try to make the calls that are more in your favor. This is what I call a 50-50 play. The Baron call that you guys made is a 50-50 play. It's not guaranteed that you guys get this Baron, but you know, you guys also, and you know, someone can argue and say that, oh, you know, but what if that's the best play I feel like that can be made? But it's not. The best play that you can make is, this wouldn't even be a 50-50 on this dragon. It probably would be like a 60-40, and depending on how you guys play and depending on how fast you guys engage, if you guys engage too fast or too slow, or you guys are timid, will depend on whether you guys win or lose. If you guys are timid on this dragon play, you guys will lose it. If you guys are too fast on the dragon play because you guys are getting a little bit like overzealous, excited, anxious, oh my gosh, we gotta get this dragon, we gotta win this fight, you guys will lose it. If you guys play it calmly, you guys will win this dragon fight all the time. And you know, this 4v4 might not be an outright win, but you guys damn sure will kill Annie and Lilia. And on top of that, they can't continue the dragon with you guys walking in with Cho'Gath. Zyra has a lot of AoE. You know, she instantly applies the slow with Rylai's, and then you guys get the kills. Kayn spawns and probably like cleans it up with Yasuo or something like that. This going to dragon is this better play. Walking through here, the second that they get this inhibitor, you walk through here, or through here, whatever you want. Dragon is the play here, not the Baron. The Baron is too much of a 50-50 play given how the game is going right now. You guys are 4k gold down, and you know, even you are a lot of gold down, I believe. Yeah, you're a lot of gold down as well. Even Yasuo is as well. Yasuo's like 2k gold down. But this play is 250-50. It's not the play. We'll speed up. And now they get dragon, and now the play is in their favor. because they had wards. They have wards. They know what's going on. They know exactly what's going on. Malzahar can just walk in and do what he wants because he sees wards. He even sees Zaya because Zaya, you know, I mean, he even sees Zyra because Zyra uses her plants and everything a little bit after the control ward died. So there's still vision. So now here's Malzahar walking in. Malzahar is in this bush. Malzahar sees Yasuo. Malzahar sees all 4 players. And they know that Kayn is walking to this. Here is Malzahar doing God's work here. Chunking people so far. This guy dies. Beautiful sleep. You can't do anything because you got poked by Malzahar. And it was just a criminal play to make. Speaking of criminal. So it was good that you did, you know, step up and say, hey, let's do this play. And, you know, you will get better at making these plays as you continue to dictate your team. But I do like that you were the one that made that ping for this play. Because now you know and now you understand that, hey, this play probably is illegal and probably just will never work out in any form, given how this game's going. And for future game reference, this probably will not work. So now you know. We're gonna wrap up a little bit soon. This game's about to be over. And then, you know, Annie's, there's a lot of mistakes going on. Annie's getting kills and all that stuff. Again, I think this is hereafter where, you know, the autopilot comes in, you know, or you're getting too excited. Even Zyra got too excited, you know. I think it's too much to go for that play. Because, you know, you don't know where anybody is. And, you know, you guys are pretty much wasting a lot of resources for this. So you walk bot lane. There's a possibility they can threaten Baron. This is probably the last stand overall. So let's see if anything is rushed. This is just a losing fight altogether. A 4v5 loss. And I think it's safe to say that a lot was used to get rid of the Lilia that we never got rid of. I think this is Jack Show Lilia even. Yep. Alright. Skipping forward. So here, I do like the idea of this death bush you're looking for, considering you guys did kill a lot of their team. But I'm thinking it would have been way better if you guys wanted to look for a play here. You guys would have had to have forgotten about the wave here and seen and went even deeper. Like something like right here, because this choke point is still, you know, you still have this corner. You still have this corner here where you can't see anybody. You have this corner here where you can't see anybody. You know, it's a bad choke point. If you're gonna do that, maybe you do it right here in Pixel Brush, and then you ward here, and then you see if anybody desirable walks in, because not just anybody can walk in and it can result in a good trade. Instead, Lilia might just E this just for fun. You know, I don't even think there was a ward here. Yeah, there's no ward. You know, it's very telling when nobody's there and you guys clear this wave and you guys walk straight in here. If you guys are to walk straight in here, you guys honestly have to ward this corner here. You guys actually have to ward this corner, ward this bush as you did, and then sit in this bush and wait to see what happens. And you don't have to be sitting in a this bush either. You could be sitting where Cho'Gath is. You know, Cho'Gath is doing ultimately the right thing. Cho'Gath is sitting more back because he knows, like, you know, there's a possibility that something like this can happen. Whether you have your tank and whether you have four of your teammates in that bush or not, whether you have tanks in that bush, it's not gonna be relevant. And this is just a massacre. They run mid. End of the game. Okay, so these are all of the things that I think you need to focus on: tunnel visioning and autopiloting the game. Keep your mind in the game. No autopiloting, no tunnel visioning. For example, you know, playing Fizz, running in and just pressing R on somebody because you have numbers advantage. But, you know, you need to think, is the numbers advantage actually, you know, a big enough advantage for it to actually work? And what can happen if it works? What can happen if it doesn't work? And what will happen if you initiate a fight? You know what I'm saying? You have to keep those in mind. What possibilities can happen? And, you know, do the positives outweigh the negatives? What can happen? What will happen? What happens if I don't do anything? Is it something where I have to take action, or the game will progressively get harder? Or can I just let this play go and look for something more desirable? Number 2, looking for 50-50 plays, aka things that are like 50% in your favor or 50% in the enemy team's favor, instead of jumping on an enemy's weakness. So an example, I rod reviewed the game just now where, you know, contesting at Dragon would have been better, and, you know, focusing on their disadvantages. You know, you guys just fought Aerie a little bit sooner a little bit earlier towards the Baron. You guys lost that fight. Enemy team is looking to do Dragon after going mid lane, and three members of their team are not full on health. Both of them are 50% HP, and then Xayah is 80% HP. That is the best time to take advantage of their disadvantage, given how the game has been going. And, you know, it goes back to number 1. Keep your mind in the game. Numbers advantage. What can happen if you do this? What will happen if you do this? Is initiating your way of winning the fight, or do they have to initiate and you have to counter initiate? An example of a 50-50 play that is not the desirable play you should be looking for. You should be looking for disadvantage plays. Doing Baron while the enemy team is doing Dragon, or pushing bot, or doing something elsewhere on the map. An example, you guys pinged Baron when they're walking towards Dragon. That's a 50-50 play. They're low on health. You guys are giving their Dragon for free, but it's not guaranteed that you guys get the Baron, given the fact that you guys are low on gold. You guys have been losing fights constantly. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, they also have vision on it, so they can rotate however they want. They could start the fight however they want. You guys don't know how far they are from coming in, and, you know, Malzahar can just do anything that he wants to during that Baron that you guys started, because he has the ability to just do what he wants. You know, he has the vision. He knew all 4 of you guys were there. You know, we know that Kayn just spawned in. You know, they know all the information. They're walking into something that they can control. As well as instead, it would have been better to focus on the Dragon play. You guys would have walked into something that you guys can control even more, because they're focused on an objective. Okay. And I did just make an example of, you know, making a play that focuses on team advantage, you know, going to that Dragon play instead of doing the 50-50 Baron. So number 3, camera control needs to be better work. You know, when you have downtime, for example, you know, when you cleared the wave, when you cleared the wave, or when you cleared the vision, or when you have nothing to do, or when you're just walking around aimlessly for no reason, move your camera to a place of action. Move your camera where there is information, because you need to gain as much information as you can to plan for a next possible play. Looking at Fizz will not give you 18 items and full build. You have to move your camera around and you have to see things. I know Fizz looks pretty good, you know, but hey, Fizz don't look that good to me, I'm be honest with you. Anyway, number 4, being self-aware in the game. Knowing where your team is in the game, knowing where enemy team is in the game, knowing where your enemy laner is in the game, and knowing, you know, where you are in the game. And, you know, I'm not saying physically, I'm saying, you know, income wise, based on gold, levels, XP, items, all that stuff. So, you know, knowing objectively, like, you know, objective wise, is if your team is losing or winning. If your team is winning fights most of the time, what strengths can be in your team if you have that perfect scenario, that perfect fight. If maybe fighting in that river is better for you guys because you guys have a Zyra ult that covers like a big piece of the river. And what scenario would be detrimental to your team that you guys for sure cannot take a fight. You know, choke points again in that game. That choke points are much stronger for the enemy team because they have a lot more leeway. They can get away with a lot more things that you guys can get away to because they're a lot more slippery. You know, you got a Malzahar who can press ult if anything happens. You know, he can build Hourglass. Zaya has ult who makes him untargetable. You know, Lilia can sleep almost 5 people and, you know, make them have to back up because they're afraid of being slept in the middle of the fight. Being aware. That's all it is. You have to be self-aware in the game. You have to know what can, might, or will happen. Just keep that circled in your mind. What can happen? What might happen? What I think could happen? What shouldn't happen? Etc. etc. Number 5. Doing nothing can result in a positive outcome. League of Legends will always result in positive outcomes if you play by the rules. You know, you're playing Fizz into Malzahar. If you play by the rules, everything that can possibly be positive will come to you. If you know, for example, you know, level 4 in that VOD review, if you had pushed that wave before rotating to Lilia, and, you know, I'm saying that in, like, you know that wave is going to crash in a very bad way, you go and push that wave instantly. By the time you finish pushing that wave, Lilia now pops up on your camera, and you're like, oh wait, I finished pushing the wave. I ain't got nothing to deal with. I'm gonna just go over there and I'm gonna just see what I can do. Get a quick kill. You get a quick kill, you don't lose that wave. The wave is fully reset on Cannon Wave. And maybe you lose only 1 melee. You take a reset, you probably lose only 1 melee. You're back, you're still in the game and you're still way up ahead of Malzahar. You'd probably be like 500 gold up. And, you know, again, it sounds so easy. You finish the wave and then Lilia just pops up on a nice platter right there just for you to take. Yum yum yum. These plays will fall into your hands if you play by the rules. Do your chores and then have some fun. That's kind of what it is. And then the last one, you know, again, harping on chores, you know, whether it's clearing wards, clearing wave, creating priority to roam first to possible place, or just being at the right place at the right time. Think where something might happen and plan ahead. Push the wave and think where something might happen and be in the area. Don't move aimlessly. Use information you gained from doing the camera control. You know, again, camera control. Everything works in conjunction. You know, you move your camera, you have this information, boom. You pick a possible outcome. Do I push the wave or do I walk here first? Can I push the wave and then walk here? Or do I just reset and just scratch the possible play altogether? Finish your chores and then walk in the direction where the prediction might come true. Or just say, you know what, this prediction probably is going to happen and it's probably not going to be beneficial for our team. So you know what? Again, doing nothing sometimes is better than doing something. So I'm going to take a reset. I'm going to be safe here. And then I am going to just leave. So before I'm done, I want to show you quickly, just really quick, one more thing. And then I'll head out. I know earlier you implemented warding, raptors and stuff. I saw that you warded red buff. But, I just want to visualize a better ward for you. It's roughly the same ward, but it's just a little bit better. So, we did talk about the minute 20 thing earlier. Well, not today, but, a few days ago. So, yada, 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 yada. Let's just buy all these control wards. And then, let's get one of these. So, boom. For the sake of just everything looking good, we're just gonna, okay, it's a minute 20 now. Minute 20, you're walking in. Boom, there's a ward here. It should be here, right here. That way you can see him walking this way. And when he's finished with his buff, you can see as to whether he walks this way or this way. So you get to see where he's gonna walk. Instead, let's fast forward 10 minutes, get rid of this ward. Blah, 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 blah. Boom, it's 10 minutes into the game. What I seen you do is you ward here, which is fine. But sometimes, even then, this ward actually does still work because you still get to see him walk this way. But you still don't get to see a little bit more of this, and then, you don't get to see this, which is not the biggest deal in the world, but, you really want to get as much value out of your ward. So I'm going to get rid of this ward really quick. Because you can even mess it up by warding a little bit too far. And then you only see just like even a little bit, and even this part is even lower. So it's better. Drop a ward here. You get to see him and his entry. You get to see his exit. You get to see his possible continuation of his path. And then you get to see if he's invading. It's honestly amazing. Now, I did say I wanted to show you only one more thing. But now that I remember, there's one more thing I want to show you. I want to show you that, this ward works oftentimes. Was this the game? It was not. I believe it was this game. Okay. So, this is me. I drop down the ward, and then let's just see what happens. And then we'll be done. Alright, so boom. Let's go to me. Fast forward 8 minutes. Well, times 8, I guess, not 8 minutes. So, I'm just hugging this place. And here's Silas here as well. And, this is why I say the minute 20. Because by minute 20, somebody's probably just somebody who's already in this bush, or in this bush, or guarding, is probably walking away now. You know what I mean? They're probably walking away and just saying, you know what? I'm gone. Nobody's coming. So I wait for the minute 20. There we go. So, I mean, the second it hits minute 20, Silas is gone. Right? 18, 19, 20. Boom. There he goes. He's gone. And I move in. They have no idea. They have no idea. I put a nice ward here, uncontested, and I make sure to hug this wall. Because if I walk, again, this is a bad habit of you. If I walk straight line, it's obviously shown that I walked from this way. And now that information isn't really a big deal, but if you can deny the enemies of as much, information as possible, why not do it? Hug this way so that it makes it seem like I was only here, so that they don't think I encroached on their area. So boom, there we go. So this ward is down. We're not going to worry about laning phase. We don't really care. We're going to fast forward to when Siobhan is here. Here's Shyvana. We know where Shyvana is now. So boom, I'm walking here. I know that, you know, I'm assuming there's no wards. There wouldn't be any wards here because Silas has been top lane all game and he just died. And this guy has wards, but we saw him walk here and didn't walk this way. That's why this ward is so good, because you can see his continuation, you could see his entry, you could see his exit, you could see anywhere. So I walk here, I'm thinking, oh wait, he's doing red buff. And I'm like, oh wait, he's not doing red buff. Again, this ward is seeing everything. My Nunu sees this as well. My Nunu sees this, I'm like, okay, this guy is walking in, he wants to invade. I wait until Nunu gets the guaranteed snowball, because if I go in now, he's just gonna walk away, right? I wait a little bit, and then this guy dies for free because this ward did justice. You know, again, playing the fog of war, I don't think he even sees me until he gets hit by the snowball. And you know, it goes back to like when, you know, that corner where you didn't see Lilia. You know, it goes back to this corner as well when a Shyvana didn't see me here. You know, I'm hugging this corner when she's walking here, right? So there I am. And then she just dies for free. So I just wanted to show you how that ward works. You know, if they can invade, it gives your jungler the idea, okay, maybe I can invade if I want. But yeah, that's about all I got for you. I'm down to do it again at any time. If, you know, you ever say, hey, this game was especially like interesting for me, I was wondering if you could watch this, maybe I got better, maybe I did this, maybe I did that, whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's about it for me. These are your end goals, and that's about it. Good luck on your ranked climbs, I guess. I'll be watching. You better be making all of these things that I've been telling you. All right, peace, dude. Peace.